And I would like to start with the topic of my research, that is the aesthetics of hyperreality in postmodern cinema, deciphering simulation and simulacra in the movie Yashoda. So this is basically the introduction of my research paper. This research explores the aesthetics of hyperreality in postmodern cinema, analyzing how cinema is representing or how the movie Yashoda utilizes simulation and simulacra to blur the lines between reality and constructed perceptions. So first of all, it is basically essential to understand that what is the meaning of hyperreality and simulacra and simulation. Hyperreality is a term in postmodern philosophy that is given by John Baudrillard, a French philosopher, and he defined it as an environment where the distinction between the real, imagined, and imagined becomes indistinguishable. And to highlight its implication, the film, through a qualitative research methodology, simulacra and simulation are the key concept of hyperreality. So first of all, what is simulacra? Simulacra are copies without originals, existing and simulation that have no correspondence reality. They become self-referential and detached from any source of truth. Second one is simulation. Through the copies of the simulacras, there is a created simulation that refers to the process of creating artificial representation of reality, where often it also becomes indistinguishable from the real thing. And the objective of this research is to explore the origin of hyperreality and what are the concepts of simulacra and simulation in postmodern cinema, and how it is impacting the audience perception in contemporary times. By engaging with postmodern cinema, audiences are forced to tangle to their own perception of reality and the authenticity of the experiences present on the screen. And it becomes increasingly prevalent in today's contemporary time that how cinema is changing with these postmodern things, and how the hyperreality and the concept of simulacra and simulation, they are constantly evolving in the field of cinema. And the next is the analysis that how I have explored the aesthetics of hyperreality in this movie Yashoda. Yashoda is an Indian language Indian action thriller film directed by Hari Hirish, featuring Samantha Ruth Prabhu in the leading role. The narrative of the movie centers around Yashoda, a surrogate mother who becomes entangled in a web of deceit and danger when she uncovers the sinister operation at a surrogacy center called Eva, where fetus are exploited to create a youth-preserving drug. And in this movie, there are three types of, you can say, presentation, and the movie used visual presentation, that is the CGI or CGI generated settings plot, and the movie included these techniques to create a hyper real atmosphere. In this atmosphere, the audiences as well as the characters think that they are living in a hyper real environment and in some kind of reality. And next is character portrayal. The characters in Yashoda are often presented as archetypes or simulations of real people, further blurring the line between fiction and reality. And the third one is narrative structure. The movie's narrative structure is also contributes to the theme of hyperreality, and how the storyline and how the characters and the environment created by the movie is creating a hyperreality, and it also take an enslavement in the feelings of the audiences. These two are the pictures of the movie. These are the visions. In the first vision, the director has also used this kind of CGIs where the fake pictures of this kind of birds is created through the characters. And the second one is also a visual from that movie. What are the discussion or implications of this hyperreality? That it discusses that how hyperreality profound impacted contemporary culture, influencing our perception of the world, our relationship with technology, and our understanding of further research. And further research into hyperreality is also a postmodern cinema can shed light on how these themes evolve in different cultural contexts and how they reflect societal anxieties and transformations. And second thing is, through this discussion, there is also a critical engagement of for the audiences to engage critically with the hyperreal presentations and recognizing their constructed nature and their notion of distortion. And in conclusion, I would like to say that this movie rapidly utilizes the advanced CGI techniques and to blur the line between reality and simulation. And by exploring the themes of beauty, ethical dilemmas, the movie captivates viewer by its gripping storyline and also provokes critical reflection on the pervasive influence of hyperreality in contemporary society. So I would like to conclude my presentation here, and thank you so much for having me today. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.